Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel.
1, 2, 3.
So for today's video, I wanted to talk all about free roaming your rabbit. If you guys didn't know, I have a rabbit. Her name is Calliope. I'll grab her in a second so you can see her, just because you guys probably haven't seen her in a while. And she free roams my entire room. Mind you, I have the master bedroom because I do have quite a bit of pets, and because Calliope free roams and I wanted to give her the most space possible. But free roaming your rabbit does not always look like them just staying in a room. They could free roam your bedroom, they could free roam just your living room, they can free roam your entire house. I'm mainly going to be talking about free roaming your rabbit in your room, just because that's what I do, that's what I'm most knowledgeable on. Before we jump right on into this video, I just wanted to please ask that you give this video a like and you hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's just get right on into this video. If you guys are new, this is Calliope, my lop rabbit. She's a sweet bun. We love her. And she is the one who free roams. She is practically just a cat at this point. She's a very good girl. But she does not like really being held, so I'm going to go ahead and let her run around while I film this video. Don't worry, y'all. She just got a treat that she's munching on right now for being a part of this video for like 5 seconds. So, as I said in the introduction, this video is going to be all about free roaming your rabbit, more specifically free roaming in your room, but this can kind of apply to anywhere in your house. But before I tell you how to do it and give you the tips and the tricks, I want to start off on the history of why rabbits were thought to be caged pets when they really aren't. So back in the day when rabbits were first being bred, their main reason for being bred was for meat. If you guys aren't really knowledgeable on the whole meat industry and whatnot, rabbits were just kept in cages to fatten up before they would go to become food. So that stigma of them being cage pets really is just fattening up your rabbit so then they can be slaughtered for food. So they really are not cage pets. The sole purpose for them being in cages was to get fat and be eaten. So that whole stigma that, you know, rabbits need like the small cage, or even hutches sometimes aren't even big enough, is really not true. If you really can't free roam, you could go to an X-pen or something where they have a very large amount of space to run and hop and all of that good stuff. So now that I told you where the history of cages came from, I do also want to share the benefits of free roaming. So the biggest benefit of free roaming is obviously exercise. As they're running around and exploring your room, they're getting a ton of exercise, and that is very good for them. Calliope, she's about 3 to 4 years old, so she's not very active. She is jumping around right now, exploring things, all that kind of stuff, but she really does just sleep throughout the day. Sometimes in the middle of the night, you know, she'll dig in her little litter box, but they're really not like dogs who are constantly moving and constantly doing something. She's really just a chill rabbit. She'll have her little bursts of energy, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, older rabbits are pretty chill, you know? So it's good that they have a large area to exercise, because when they don't have large areas to exercise, they're gonna get fat, and that can lead to a whole list of problems. The second benefit is that they really just come out of their shell, and it really does grow your bond. Before, when I had first gotten Calliope, I had a very large cage for her. It was like a big, like extra large dog kennel, and anytime I was home, I would open that door and she would get free roam of my room. But I never really felt that connection with her. You know, she would never really come up to me. She never really wanted attention. But ever since I strictly free roamed her, she has just been the most loving and fun and interactive bunny. It really does just grow your bond. You know, you're learning to live together, and you're learning to just be a little family. And it's honestly just so fun to watch them explore and grow. And I'm pretty sure they also find it fun, you know, when they have all of this stuff to do and this person that they're living with that they can run up to for food or run up to for pets. It really just strengthens your bond. The third benefit is joint and bone health. Because they get this large room or large house or whatnot to run around, it really just helps with their, you know, their muscle and their bone health and their joint health. It's so beneficial to them to just be able to run around whenever they want to. And sitting in a tiny cage, you know, they can't even stretch, you know, they can't even like hop around, do binkies or anything like that. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you let them out a few times a day, I guess that's okay, but they're not getting all of that benefit. They're getting like a portion of the benefit where, you know, they can hop around for a few hours, but then they have to go back in their cage. And it's like, yeah, they're getting some exercise and stuff like that, but ultimately it's the best to free roam because they get to choose when they want to run. They can choose when they get to stretch, and there's really no restrictions. They can run around whenever they want. They can stand up whenever they want. They pretty much can do whatever they want. And the last benefit that I'm going to be sharing today is just stimulation. If you're sitting in a cage, even if you have, you know, all of these toys and whatnot, there's really not that much enrichment or stimulation. Whereas when you have this huge room, you can get large interactive toys. You can, you know, hide their food or treats along the room. There's so many ways that they can get enrichment and stimulation from free roaming. And it's just so worth it in the long run. So now that all of that stuff is out of the way, I'm going to talk about really how you can free roam your rabbit. So the very first thing, and I think the most crucial thing that you're ever going to find when looking up how to free roam your rabbit is bunny proofing. The older they get, the less naughty they are. Babies really are just into everything all the time, which I think is another reason why I'm so glad that I just got an adult rabbit, you know, because babies are so fun and cute. But they can be little psychopaths and they can destroy everything, whereas Calliope really just sits in her litter box, plays with her toys, chews on her cat scratcher, and then binkies and then goes to sleep. She really has no interest in destroying any of my things. But it is still important for their safety and your happiness that you do some bunny proofing, whether that be covering up cords, lifting up furniture, or taking away furniture that you don't want them to chew on, covering baseboards, putting up baby gates to restrict them in places that you don't want them to be in. All of those things are important. Personally, I don't have my baseboards covered, and they're perfectly fine. And I have one cord that is exposed, and that is my phone charger, and she has not even touched it. Now, if I see that she's spiking interest, that's when I'll go ahead and cover up the cord for sure, 110%. But honestly, she has her little corner in my room, and that is like her home base right there. That is her spot. You know, she just does her own thing over there. And she hardly ever bugs the bedside of my room. So the second most important thing is to spay or neuter your rabbit. Spaying and neutering your rabbit really is beneficial and pretty much crucial when you are free roaming your rabbit. It is pretty much, I'm going to make a disclaimer real quick though, it is pretty much essential whether or not you're free roaming your rabbit just to reduce that risk of cancer. But especially when you're free roaming, it is very vital. And the reason being is because when they're not neutered, they have all these hormones and stuff, and they can be a lot more naughty when they're not neutered or spayed, but it also does tremendously help with litter box training. And if you're free roaming your rabbit, that is one thing that you really want to do is litter box train your rabbit. I'll get into that later on in this video. But there's just so many reasons why, you know, spaying and neutering your rabbit is very important, not only to help them live longer, but to reduce them getting into things. And well, you don't want little turds all over your house because they poop nonstop. So tying in with the whole spaying and neutering thing, you want to make sure that they are litter box trained. Like I said, spaying or neutering your rabbit will tremendously help with litter box training, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So what I did to set up Calliope's litter box is I just got, I think it's either the large or jumbo litter pan. I know a lot of people like to use the enclosed ones, but personally, Calliope doesn't really care and I don't really care. So I just went with the cheaper option. Poopy! Poop! Let's not do that. Ma'am, leave that where it is. Thanks. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Poop! Hey! So I got, I think it's either the large or the jumbo cat litter box. I put down, I think it's the Back to Nature pellet bedding. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but you just put a few pellets or bedding down in the litter box and then fill her up with hay. That's all you do. And you want to kind of track where in the room or where in their cage they're choosing to poop, and then stick the litter box there, and it's pretty simple. I can make a more in-depth video about litter box training your rabbit if you guys want me to, but for the most part, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy, especially when they're spayed or neutered. Piece of cake. So another thing that I really want to make clear is that just because you're free roaming your rabbit does not mean that they're not going to get scared by some sort of things. So you really want to give them places to hide. Calliope's favorite place to hide is actually my curtains. I didn't even have to buy her a hide because her favorite things are my curtains. She doesn't chew on them. She will just hide her face, and then you can see this big honkin' booty out of my curtain. And I'm like, okay. But she also likes to hide under my desk. She likes to hide in this little carrier sometimes. Just give them a lot of outlets to hide or go under so that they can feel safe and really come out of their shell and learn to trust you. And the last essential for free roaming your rabbit is enrichment. This will deter them from needing to find their own enrichment in ways that you probably don't want them to. So a fun few little things that you could do are like interactive toys where you put their like food or treats in a toy and they have to like knock it over or push it around to get out those treats. Calliope absolutely loves this cat scratcher that I got. It was literally like $8 if that, and she loves it. Let me show you guys what it looks like actually now. This is the cat scratcher. Yeah, this is what the cat scratcher has turned into. So she's gonna need one very, very soon. I'm gonna try and insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like so you can see just how much she loves this darn thing. Oh, here she comes. She's like, give me my cat scratcher back. But yeah, Calliope absolutely loves those, but also they have like little ridges, or not ridges, but little holes in them. When Calliope got her boot box, it also came with this little, I didn't even realize she's been trying to get to it. Look at how much she's chewed this thing. Poopy, did you do this? Was that you? She's like, yeah, what about it? It's this little mixture type of thing that I know a lot of people can throw, or a lot of people throw in their hay, which you can definitely do. But I also put it in her cat scratcher, and that really kind of boosted her interest in the cat scratcher as well. Before she would just kind of sit on it, but then she really started gnawing on it. But this is kind of what it looks like. So you could do something like that as well. There's so many different ways that you can provide enrichment with your rabbits. That can also be a whole different video if you guys are interested. But that really will just kind of deter them from making their own trouble. So now I have a couple tips to share with you guys to make this transition a little bit easier. So I want to start off by saying start slow. You can have them start in, like I said, a dog kennel, letting them free roam a few times throughout the day. Like when you're home, see how they do with that. And then you can boost it up to, you leaving the room for like 10-15 minutes, coming back, seeing how they do. And then you can just slowly build up from there until they are just free roaming 100% of the time. That is what I did with Calliope. Whenever I was home, she would come out And then, you know, if I left, I'd put her in there for a little bit. And then it would move up to when I had to go like grocery shopping real quick or something, she would stay out. And then when I got home, see how she does. And then it went up to me going to school, and then me going to school and work. And then it was just an all day thing. All day and all night, by the way. So, another tip that I have is baby rabbits can be very, very naughty and mischievous and messy. So personally, in my opinion, it is a lot easier to free roam an adult rabbit than it is to free roam a baby. So I know some people will just get a very large X pen while the babies are growing up, and then once they're spayed and neutered and, you know, calmed down a little bit, that's when they get, you know, the entire room or the entire house or whatever to free roam. That way it just kind of ensures their safety a little bit more, because babies are babies. You know, they're going to be naughty and they're going to get into everything, whereas older rabbits like Calliope, she just wants to eat, poop, and sleep. That's her main goals in life. Oh, and obviously, you know, tear apart her cat scratcher, because that's a very vital necessity. So free roaming a baby is a little bit trickier. I'm not saying you can't do it. Sometimes you'll get a super, super well-behaved baby, but just know that if you have this little baby and you're like, I know this rabbit is going to destroy my entire house, I do know people that will just put them in a very large X pen until they're old enough to free roam on their own. And the last little tip that I have, trust is a huge thing in free roaming a rabbit, and that was honestly the reason why I didn't free roam Calliope right off the bat, was because I was like, well, I don't really trust her. You know, I was like, I don't really know if I can do this. So one thing that really, really, really helped was a pet camera. So while I was at school, I could watch on the camera. I had set it up so I could see the whole room, and I could just see what she was up to. That way I could ensure that she wasn't getting into trouble, and it really just built my trust with her a lot more. You can kind of see what they're doing, and if they are getting into trouble, I had one where you can talk, so you can like yell at them and be like, no, don't do that, you know, and whatever. But it did build a lot of trust, and now I'm at the point where I just got rid of my pet camera. I didn't get rid of it, it's still here, but I trust her to the point where I know she's not going to do anything. And she's so easy, you know, she's like a cat, but she doesn't scratch up anything, you know, she's so easy and simple. But yes, guys, that is all the tips and how-tos for free roaming a rabbit. Like I said, it really is all just based on trust. They are super, super intelligent animals, and honestly, free roaming a rabbit is such a rewarding thing, and it brings me so much joy. And, you know, like watching her do her own thing whenever she wants to, and it really just built her relationship that much more. It's totally worth it. You guys have got this. Like I said, it's just built on trust, and, you know, there's so many ways to kind of ensure that they're gonna be okay. And after a while, you'll just be like, oh, this really is not as bad as I thought it was. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. If I missed anything and you guys have other tips and tricks, put that down in the comments below. Help other people out. But this was just my main ideas that I wanted to get across. I did throw out a few video suggestions throughout the video, so if you guys would like to see those videos, definitely comment down below and let me know, and I will definitely do that for you guys. But yeah, that is all I have for today, so thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.